Hello everybody, we are here with your Freya ADC guide. Freya right now, really one of the bottom tier characters in the game. One of her biggest issues is she genuinely doesn't have a very good starter to go. My personal favorite on Freya is actually going to be the Eye of the Jungle, and we're going to get started into our rings as well as get ourselves quite a few potions here. So Freya is a very late game focused mage auto attacker that you don't see very popular in the meta right now because of how early game focused it is, how important it is to kind of win your lane and start that snowball. Freya, not very good at that at all. She wants the game to go to like that nice 30-minute marker so she can just kind of chillax. But a lot of games are not making it that long, which is why she is struggling so hard right now. In general, magic auto attackers are not super in the meta right now. It's much more hunters, but we're going to do our best. So we're going to be paired with a Ares. Ares is actually pretty nice here because it helps out with the clear a little bit. Unfortunately, though, we are against a Woojer. So I've got to just be real far back and careful against an Woojer. I'm going to actually body block a little bit here for my Ares. What you don't want to go against on Freya is early aggression on our matchups. This is actually probably one of the... I'm not going to say the worst matchup, but it's definitely a hard matchup. Like a Ymir would be way worse for me than an Ares because the chains aren't actually that problematic. But Woojer up there in the ADCs you don't want to play against. Probably Woojer and her Danza. Anybody that can really gas pedal in the early game, you don't really want to be going against on Freya. You want some of the more passive characters that also want to go to the late game. You know, the AMC Artemises of the world, even a Rama. So you can just kind of chillax and not have to super worry about them 100 to 0ing you. So at level 1, we grab our 2. At level 2, I'm going to get my 3 here for peel. Right now, it doesn't look like we have a lot of kill potential, so what I'm really more concerned about is being able to peel by doing something like whooping that Ares off of me so we can't get all of his chains, and we are going to be leveling up our 2 to max first. Now, we have a totem back here, which is very nice for me, so hopefully I can save a little bit of extra mana here. If you go this Eye of the Jungle start, just know that your mana consumption is going to be pretty bad. So you're gonna need to be buying some mana pots and be careful about spamming all of your abilities because you will run out of mana pretty fast. No different really than if you were playing a jungler with Eye of the Jungle right now. You know how good Eye of the Jungle can be, but you just have to be extra careful about that mana consumption. So honestly, this is the best case scenario right now for us. We have not died at all in the dual lane, which is fantastic. If we can make it to like level 9 without having died, that would be brilliant for us against an Woojer Ares lane. So we're going to get our 1 at level 4, and that is going to be the ability that we level up 3rd. So on Freya, we're going to be leveling up 2, 4, 1, 3. Our 2 is our form of range clear. This is what gives us our slow, all sorts of good stuff. Then we're going to level up our ultimate because it's going to increase the damage of those blasts, and you can shoot that up to 4 times. So you got times that damage by 4. Then we level up our 1, which is our combination big boy single target damage.
Take this jungle buff.
This is actually a potential kill right here. I'm going to whoop him. I'm going to hit him with my 2 for the slows, and then I'm going to pop my 1 as soon as I get enough mana for it, and you're going to get to see some of that big boy Freya damage actually come online. And I'm going to back my butt up ASAP. Get myself tier 2 boots as well as a couple more mana pots. So this is a wonderful start for us on Freya. For our build on Freya, it is still kind of that traditional magic hunter build that you would expect. There's going to be a lot of rings in here. You're definitely going to want to grab the Rada Tahuti right now. Rada Tahuti is just such a good item because it comes with that percent pen that it even works on the auto attack junglers, and that's a really good gank from our Quang to keep us even with this Uller. Give me a little bit of opportunity to farm. I love that. So I'm going to be going into my power boots. This is going to be the lifesteal boots. You don't really need the cooldown so much on Freya. Those boots can be nice strictly for the mana on them. But later on in the game, you're going to kind of wish you had those power boots. One, just for the extra generic auto attack damage. But two, that lifesteal early can actually help out quite a bit, especially once like my HP pots and that kind of stuff run out. Now, I don't have to be super afraid of Uller until my ultimate is down. If my ultimate is ever down, that's when I need to be really careful. But you can see just me trying to aggress on him right there. That was basically all of my mana, so I can't really do that more than a couple of times. So I need to mostly just kind of chillax, try to avoid his axes as best I can. And if I get down too low, I'm gonna have to use my ultimate. He has jumped in place, but as long as I land my ultimate, I missed a couple of them. Otherwise, he would be dead right now. So I need to go ahead and back it up. I'm gonna chillax, play it safe. I've got Eye of the Jungle. I can go clear this purple buff really fast and then go for the next wave. So as long as my ultimate is up, I can go ahead, jump up into the air, right? And I'm mostly safe. So I don't mind playing a little bit more forward when that is the situation. But the second my ultimate is down on Freya, I'm back. I'm AFK near my tower. I'm just farming. I'm not pushing, being aggressive at all. I'm just waiting for it to come back up. That's kind of my get out of jail free card on Freya, is having that ulti up.
Freedom!
On Freya as well, your 1 enhances your in-hand autos. Your 2 also enhances your in-hand autos. Your 2 makes your auto attack range. You can press your 2 and your 1 at the same time, but if you do so, you're going to lose the slow on the 2. So the 2 normally provides a slowing effect, but if you use the 2 and the 1 together, your ranged autos will no longer slow, but they will have all the damage in the entire world. So a lot of the times when you whoop somebody, you're gonna whoop them, pop your 2, land 1 auto attack with the whoop, just the 2, so that way you get the slow on them, and then oftentimes switch over to the 1. Now the slow doesn't actually last that long, but it is a combination you will see a lot of people do. Whoop, pop the 2, land an auto so they get the slow on them, and then pop the 1, so you're getting the 2-1 bonus damage, full-blown autos right there. But just so you can get that little slow proc first. Also on Freya, every time that your 2 is down, you need to be careful, because that is when you can be taken advantage of. If you don't have your 2 up for those ranged autos, you're not going to be able to keep up, obviously, with the hunters, because they're going to keep you at a range, poking you down. So every single time your 2 is down, you want to make sure you're backing up and keeping yourself out of the range of the hunter. If your 2 comes back up, that's when you can move back in the range and start looking for those little boxing moments. Saved our point at level 8, so we can grab our 2 and our 4. And now we're going to level up our 1 all the way to max for that bonus damage. Finally, getting our whoop. All that changes on the whoop is the actual cooldown. I am about to get full attack right here, so I'm going to use my ultimate actually defensively. And I'm going to very patiently just wait on using it. So right there, instead of turning around and spamming my ultimate as fast as humanly possible in order to get the damage off, I just very slowly utilize it, so that way I still get some damage off from it, but I'm mostly using it to stay in the air longer where I cannot be hit by the enemy team. It's our one tool on Freya that's really gonna help us live.
On my way.
And now that it's back down, you guessed it, your boy is chilling.
We are not ready for this brew.
So I'm gonna go right into a Telkine's Ring. I'm a big fan of first item Telkine's Ring on the Mage Autoers right now. You get a lot of damage value out of this item in the early and late game, but that 100 power, 25% attack speed on Freya is just so ridiculously helpful. It is a little bit expensive. Some people like to go the Hecate to try to get that lifesteal online. That is also a really good early item, but I myself lean into the Telkines for the extra damage. I find that on Freya, I might as well just embrace the damage right now. It's basically all she does. She's, for all intents and purposes, single target Zeus. She has one thing that she does well, and that is damage. So you might as well embrace the damage because that's what you're going to be doing. If you're not doing damage, well, then you're not participating in the match. My 2 is about to go down. You can see Woojer trying to get a little bit aggressive there. He switches over to Axe Dance. Looks like he's going to be a bit more aggressive on me because he knows my 2 is about to run out. That's why I got to play it back every time that happens. Ares actually had himself a pretty good position right there, but he needs to be careful. I want to help. Oh, Woojer uses his jump. I'm sure he's going to beads. So I'm going to come over here and whoop him and try to get a couple of autos. Oh my gosh, I just can't finish him behind the Ares. That's such a good little blink right there from the Ares. If I would have landed the last ultimate, he would have gone down. But what a good Ares blink. Can't even be mad about that, getting himself positioned in between there. And so now we're going to back up, get ourselves a couple of more wards and a couple of mana potions. You can see the second that my range autos ran out right there, Freya is basically useless. I had to wait for them to come back up, and by that point, it was already too late. That's why you got to be super careful when that 2 is not up, because your entire kit basically relies on you being able to have that 2. Now we're going to go back out, grab a couple more wards, and we're just going to be chilling in the lane. On Freya, you're not going to be looking for a lot of rotations around the map. I'm going to whoop him just to be careful here. I came in a little aggressively on this, and I need to make sure I get credit for this wave, but I also pathed in a little too aggressively right there through my own purple buff, but I probably should have just come from actually around that tower. So just being a little bit safe right there. And now I'm going to make sure to get out a couple of wards. Once again, I'm kind of in trouble here. I do have a Quang on his way, so I'm going to try to kite back. I think the Woojer was going to jump for me. He does. And now I'm going to actually walk towards him. I know that his jump is down. I know that my Quang is here, and my Quang should be able to pick up that kill for me. Yanis is walking towards me. I still don't have my... beads up, so I got to make sure I don't get hit by a portal there, and I should be able to get right on out. Now I'm going to start working on a ring of Hecate, which is going to help me in those 1v1s. Not quite as helpful against Woojer as it would be against a lot of other characters, because honestly, even with the debuff on him, he's probably still going to be able to one-shot me if I don't have beads up with the Axe 3-1 combo. But anything that helps is nice. Now, the later this game goes, right, we are ahead 2K right now. It is 12 minutes. We're 1-1-1. This is what you're hoping for on Freya, right? Freya is not, she's not popping off early. You're not snowballing early. You're just trying to stop the enemy team from snowballing. If the enemy team isn't snowballing against Freya, they are not in a good spot. Also, you can see Janice rotating over to me a lot. There's a lot of ultis coming my way. That is how you should play against Freya. Freya is very susceptible, and she has a huge amount of potential carry for the late stages of the game. So if you're going against a Freya, you really should make her a priority camp target. Just like if you were going against like an Artemis or something. I'm going to use my ulti here for the CC immunity. and just keep on bagging it up. You can see they're just absolutely diving for me right now. This is what they should be doing. I'm gonna be able to grab the Ares kill right there. And I'm probably gonna die anyway, but I grabbed the Ares, the Janus is out of position, and this is why they need to start camping me really, really hard, because that type of play is gonna become more and more and more common. They full dive over for me on the Freya, and all of a sudden I'm under tower and I start getting that damage off, and you can see where that Freya damage is coming online slowly but steadily. So against this team, I really want to get a Shell, but I'm actually going to have to get an Aegis, the Janus ulti, the Gubus ulti. They've got a whole lot of big right plow you through damage abilities, so I'm gonna grab myself the Aegis in order to immune some of those ults. If they have more of an auto attack based team, then I would recommend going the Shell in the duo lane. Right now in duo, your actives are pretty much always going to be Beads Shell or Beads Aegis, depending on the enemy team comp. More big one-shot ultimates, Aegis. More auto attack style gameplays, Arachnes, Erlings, etc.
Enemies
Shell.
in the right jungle.
Only got a 1 level lead on me. Really no level lead on me. Over on the Woojer. I need to make sure I'm getting my purple buff. Purple buff on Freya is probably more important than any other character. Year 2 is that limited time ranged auto. And so being able to have more attack speed means you get more auto attacks within the time that that ability is actually live. So when you get that enhanced purple, regular purple is going to give you that 10% attack speed and 10 flat pen, and then the enhanced gives you that additional 15% attack speed. So crucially important for Freya.
There's nothing out there we can't handle.
I know Ares is around, but I want to make sure that I get this wave. Now, another thing that I should mention is when you're playing a super late game focused character, while you want to be safe, you don't want to be missing out on farm. If you are playing so far back that you're not getting credit for waves, for jungle camps, then it doesn't matter how good you're going to be late game, because you're simply never going to get there. So you really need to make sure that you are playing up far enough to get credit for your wave. So as basically your goal is as far back as possible while still getting XP. So I do a lot of damage to Woojer right there. He misses his axe. I don't want to chase that into the jungle because I just don't need to go for it. And it looks like Ares is going to stay in the way of those chains, and he's actually going to be able to put down the Woojer for me, which is huge. If I win a little poke battle, I'm just focusing on farming. I'm not going to get greedy. I'm not going to die from through the jungle. I'm not going to try to get myself ganked. I'm going to go directly back to farming and focus on getting my level 20. I'm going to grab this wave and I'm going to start to back up. If we can get over to the Gold Fury, I'm not sure if they're still going to have the oracles. If they still have the oracles, we shouldn't do it because they have a Janus. But if their oracles have run out, then we can start to go to the Gold Fury. Freya's going to do a lot of damage to objectives with that 2-1 combo. While that is up, she's going to be able to burn at least a quarter of an objective's health. You can see I actually did about 50% of the Gold Fury's health right there. Looks like Janus does know, but we should be able to grab that before they can get here. Now we need to be careful, and I'm heading back over towards my purple buff. Another thing that's really crucial for Freya is something completely outside of her control, and that is going to be her teammates. When you're picking a god that's looking for the ultra late game, I'm going to give myself a demonic grip here next. Demonic grip going to give me a bunch of those magical penetrations on my autos, and then I'm going to finish up this build with that Rada Tahuti for the raw power, raw damage coming through in a little bit more percent pen. Your teammates are super important on Freya or any other late game character because you have to rely on them to basically get you there. It's a lot of the times while you'll see maybe in an SPL meta a type of character that doesn't get played a lot in like casuals or ranked, and that's because they can always rely on their teammates in order to get them to a certain point. So if you're playing a Freya, an Artemis, whatever, you're going to want to make sure that your teammates, if you can queue up with a group of people, you're probably going to have a better shot at getting away with it than you are necessarily just randomly getting queued up with people. And now you can see how strong my 1v1 is. We've made it to the 20-minute marker. I didn't get super far behind, and now my damage is coming online. Look at this absolute damage output. They tried to put me down early. He knows there's no escaping, so he's just gonna sit there and let it happen. This is what you do not want to see. And a huge part of the reason why I'm here is because my team did not feed. My support didn't feed in my lane. My mid laner did really strongly. My solo lane and jungler, my jungler was rotating over to help me out, right? I was getting the assistance that I needed. They were winning their lanes. And because of that, that let me sit over in my lane and make some opportunities happen and get the farm going. Because if you're on a late game character, right? If you're like, I'll be online at the 25-minute marker, and if your team is already dead at the 10-minute marker, and the enemy team is snowballing, then it doesn't matter how good you're going to be at the 20-minute marker, because the game's already over, right? So you really need to be able to trust and rely on your team to help you get to that point. Now I'm going to start up this fire giant right here. We have a Quang, Freya, Izanami. Look at this fire giant get deleted. Triple auto attack objective burners on this team. Gold Fury, Fire Giants stand absolutely no chance. Now towers are going to do a little bit better against us. Quang and Freya not nearly as good at killing towers as they are at killing the Gold Fury Titans Fire Giants, but our Izanami is one of the premier tower slayers in the game, so we still have her damage to help out with that. So for my upgrade on my item, it's obviously going to go into Protector of the Jungle. I'm going to get that as soon as we grab this tier 2 tower. I think I'm going to get the 20 off of this if we can grab it. Got to be a little bit careful here with the Loki nonsense, but we're going to get level 20. I've got enough money to go get my Protector of the Jungle. And so we should back up and go shove up left lane. You want to make sure you're shoving that farthest lane away from the Fire Giant. So it might feel weird to have this big shield on Freya. Like, Incon, why do I want Protector of the Jungle? Isn't that a jungler item, man? Why am I getting that on my Freya? Well, I mean, just look at the baseline stats of this thing. First of all, 100 magical power. You ain't never gonna complain about 100 magical power, right? Second of all, 35% attack speed. Pretty perfect for our Freya. Then we've got physical protectors to help us live against the enemy hunter and probably jungle most games. And then when we're in the jungle, we gain an additional 12% power and protections. The protection is not necessarily a big deal for us, but that additional power just means that we can one-shot people in the jungle more than we're already one-shotting. So much PvP damage in this build. I just got Yanis ulted. I'm going to go ahead and back it up here. I need to be careful. If I was that Yanis, I would come for me, so I'm going to keep my eyes out right now. I know his ultimate is down, but I can see it in his eyes that he wants to come this way. I don't want to back because I can actually heal pretty strongly as long as I don't get absolutely wrecked. So I need to stay away from the Yanis. Ares throws down the ulti. I feel a little bit more comfortable now moving back in on this, and I'm going to be able to basically full heal from my abilities, which is why we like having that Hecate on us. Gives us that nice bit of sustain. I'm gonna actually continue to auto attack these creeps over here, so that way I get the heals. We need to be a little bit careful. We should go attack this middle Phoenix first. They do have respawns within 10 seconds. Probably not gonna be able to kill the Titan in that quick amount of time, but we should be able to walk around and burn down all of these Phoenixes with our super attack heavy group. I'll tank it. I don't mind. Somebody's got to tank it. As long as me as a Nami and Quang are on this, it is going to die. Now, we can actually keep pressing our W keys right now. We really don't have to be afraid. We've got 3 Phoenixes down. They're stuck in their base. All we have to do is kind of sit here and let the creeps push up. Our Ares goes in for a big blink ulti, though. There's a lot of potential off of that. And so we're just going to sit here and auto-attack anybody that is in front of us. And now we can just go ahead and end the game. So for our last item, that would of course be that Rod of Tahuti. We're gonna have tons of attack speed with this build, little bit of sustain from our boots from the Hecate, all the damage, all the pen, all the power. We're gonna have so much presence in the jungle as well in the late game fights. If the game goes a little bit longer and you get fights around the fire giant, having that protector of the jungle is going to be a lifesaver for you, helping you kill those targets in like 2-3 autos instead of 4-5 auto attacks, guys. And that is our Freya ADC guide.